Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a look at graphing a parabola given its focus and directrix, but we're going to be really careful to find the axis of symmetry, actual x-intercepts, the y-intercept, and the vertex. So we're going to be graphing it more accurately this time. I am going to go ahead and start by putting the information on a coordinate plane, right? So I'm going to bring it down just a bit, the x-axis down a little bit, because I see that the directrix is at 8. So let me give myself some tick marks. And okay, so let's take a look at putting the focus on there. So I'm going to go ahead and put the focus on, and that's at 3, 4. So over 3 up 4 looks like about right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, there's my focus. Okay, check. Now we're going to put the directrix on there, and the directrix is at y equals 8. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So here's my directrix, and it's a line. If I see y equals, then it has to go through the y, and therefore it's a horizontal line. Well, if my directrix is horizontal, then I know that this parabola has to open up and down. So now all I have to do is just to take a look at where the vertex would be, and then we can start to build the equation. So here we go. That'll actually allow me to find the rest of my information. So we have this at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we know that the focus would have, the vertex would have to be right there. At over 3 up what? 2 away, because if there's 4 away, if there's 4 spaces between the directrix and the focus, then the vertex has to be exactly 2 spaces from each. So what are my coordinates of my vertex? So let's see. My vertex, put that in green here, my vertex is going to be over 3. Vertex is over 3 up 6. That's going to help me to write my equation. So there's my vertex. My focus is already named. I have my directrix on there. So what do I get from this picture? I get that the P, right? This is P and this is P. And the P is 2. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. We're going to go ahead and write the equation. Oops. I'm going to go ahead and put the numbers in. There we go. There's a 2 there. This is a 3 squared, and that's plus 6. All right. So before I finish up, I want to make sure I put my negative or positive there on my A. And I know that the parabola has to hug the focus. I'm not going to finish the whole picture up, but I do know that it's going to be opening down because it needs to be going away from the directrix and it needs to hug the focus. That's how I remember it. So this is definitely going to be a negative. All right, let's clean this up. Negative 1/8, and that's going to be x minus 3 squared plus 6. Okay, so why did I even write the equation? Because we're just being asked to graph it. Well, I need it to find the x-intercepts, okay, and the y-intercepts. So let's go ahead first of all and get the axis of symmetry. Well, I know that the axis of symmetry is just the fold line, right? And it's actually the same as the vertex, of the x-coordinate of the vertex. So my axis of symmetry is the x-coordinate of the vertex, and it's going to be the line x is 3. It's the fold line, basically, for the parabola. Okay, so there's that, axis of symmetry. Now let's take a look at our x-intercepts. Well, our x-intercepts are going to be related to, oops, excuse me, I lost my place. Let's just pick back up right here. To get the x-intercepts, we're going to replace the y with a 0. Okay? I'm going to get the x-intercepts. we're going to do it this way. What I'd like to do is just basically get the 6 on the other side. So I'm going to have minus 6, and then I have negative 1/8. You notice the x is in one spot. Because the x is in one spot, I can just continue to get that the x minus 3 quantity squared alone. So I'm now going to multiply both sides by a negative 8. Why am I going to do that? Well, you can see why. I want to get rid of that negative 1/8 in the front. Oops, excuse me. Get rid of that negative 1/8 in the front. So that's going to give me x minus 3 squared, and that's going to be a positive 48. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides, and here's what I get. Oops, excuse me. So it didn't take that long. So we have x minus 3 is equal to the square root of 48, and that gives me, plus or minus, excuse me, that gives me 3 plus or minus square root of 48 is what our x-intercepts are. Now that ends up being, square root of 48 is roughly 6.9, excuse me. So we get 9.9 as an x-intercept, and we get negative 3.9. So let's put those on our graph. Okay, negative 9.9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's really, let me put one more tick mark here. It's really fat, right? So there's negative 9.9, and the other one is, oh my goodness gracious, excuse me, it's negative 3.9, pardon me, wow. Negative 3.9, 1, 2, 3.9, and then positive 9.9. That makes more sense, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.9. Okay, so now my y-intercept, now we're going to expect the y-intercept to line up pretty well with this fat parabola that we're making. So let's go ahead and get that. The y-intercept. The y-intercept is found when we make x 0, right? So here we go. Y is equal to negative 1/8. We got 0 minus 3 squared plus 6. Let's find the y-intercept. We have negative 1/8. We get 9 plus 6. Okay, so we have negative 9/8 plus 6. And we basically get negative 9/8 is really what? It's really negative 1 1/8. So if I combine negative 1 1/8 plus 6, I get, what do I get? 4, negative 1 1/8, 4 and 7/8. 1 1/8. So then that gets me 7/8. That's 39/8. Now the y-intercept is much easier to understand if we just consider that it's 4 and 7/8. So let's see if that ends up giving me, looking like it's the right position. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 7/8. Bingo. So there's my shape of my parabola, right? It's really wide. Really wide. So there's that shape like that. Okay? Let's see what else we were asked to get. X-intercepts, we got those. X-intercept, we got the y-intercept right there. And I think that's all they asked us to do. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.